Hello everybody. People want to know, what does the risk doctor think about the coronavirus pandemic? So let's spend a few minutes answering some of those key questions that I get asked over and over again.
First question, is the coronavirus pandemic a black swan?
That's a really good question. A lot of people say that. Interestingly, about 5 minutes walk in that general direction, there's a pond, and on our pond there are lots of different ducks and geese and some swans, some white swans. And just in the last 3 weeks, a pair of black swans have landed, never been seen on our lake before. So black swans are a phrase that people use for unexpected risks, but they're actually used in popular language not quite correctly. This book by Nicholas Nassim Taleb in 2009, I think it was, first raised the idea of a black swan with three different characteristics. Firstly, it's something which is entirely unpredictable in advance, unknowable. Secondly, if and when it does happen, it has a huge impact. And thirdly, in hindsight, it's entirely understandable. We all think we should have seen it. And the black swan, the coronavirus pandemic, is absolutely not a black swan because, well, first of all, it wasn't unknowable. There was a report published in 2019 in September, which is called a World at Risk by the Global Preparedness Monitoring Board, which was set up by the WHO and the United Nations. And in September 2019, they said that the world should prepare for a global pandemic which could affect up to 80 million people. And they had a 7-point plan that they recommended that people should consider for governments to take advantage and to be prepared in advance. And even before that, right the way back to, I think it was July 1979, the United Nations had a conference which was looking at the possibility of new health emergencies arising through pandemics. So this is absolutely not unpredictable or unknowable. It has been predicted, and so it cannot be a black swan.
So if it's not a black swan, is the coronavirus pandemic a risk?
Well, let's go back to our definition of risk. A risk is an uncertainty that matters, and the coronavirus pandemic certainly matters. But is it an uncertainty? I'm afraid it isn't, and sadly for most of us it is a very real reality. It's a certainty. We have the coronavirus pandemic raging across the world, infecting millions of people. Hundreds of thousands of people have died, and it's a very real reality for us here at the ground level as well. So it's not uncertain, it's a certainty that matters. Maybe it was uncertain a little bit previously in terms of knowing when it would come and how big it would be and what exactly its characteristics would be. But just now, the coronavirus pandemic is a reality. It's a certainty that matters. That makes it a problem or an issue, but not a risk.
Well, if it's not a black swan and it's not a risk, is there a risk-based perspective on the coronavirus pandemic?
Well, yes, of course, you'd expect the risk doctors to say there's a risk-based perspective on everything. And of course, there is a risk-based perspective on the coronavirus that's currently affecting us. If the coronavirus pandemic is an issue or a problem that's present now, then issues and problems can give rise to risks. Risks are uncertainties in the future, but they arise from sets of circumstances which exist now. And so we could ask ourselves, what future uncertainties may arise as a result of the coronavirus pandemic that we're now experiencing? And they could arise at a number of different levels. We could have personal risks, we could have business level risks, we could have societal or national risks. And of course, risks include both threats and opportunities, and each of those could arise from the coronavirus pandemic at each of those different levels. So let's think just briefly of some examples. In terms of the personal level, the biggest risk or uncertainty that arises from the pandemic for us personally is that I might get sick. I might actually get the disease and then have a severe reaction and be very, very ill and possibly even die. I might, or I might not. One of my loved ones might also get sick and die, or not. So these are bad uncertainties which relate to the coronavirus pandemic. I might lose my job and never get it back again. I might have a business which I own or run, which I work in, which has had to close down temporarily. It may never reopen. So we have got some real personal threats. Are there any personal opportunities that might arise? out of this coronavirus pandemic? Well, we might find opportunities, for example, to build new relationships, or to learn new skills, or to do all those jobs that we've always been meaning to do. Here we have an opportunity to take those actions that we've been waiting for the right time. Now is the right time. But there are other things that we might consider, new things which we hadn't previously thought about the possibility of building community in our streets, with our neighbours, with those who are vulnerable that we need to help. Things that could happen in the future that would be very helpful. So there are threats and opportunities arising from the pandemic at the personal level. At the business level, well, maybe we've lost our supply chain. We might never be able to restart our business in the same way. We might have furloughed our people and never get them back. We might find that when we try to start up, our competitors are faster and stronger and smarter than we are. We might have lost our market share. All sorts of things could happen at the business level. But there are opportunities as well at the business level. We might find that we've discovered new ways of working, the value of working from home, of team collaboration, of building more resilience into our organizations. These things could arise and could make our businesses stronger and more resilient in the future. There are opportunities for businesses as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. And at the societal, national, or even international level, we might consider the possibility of a breakdown of community as we know it, because we've been locked down for so long. That would be bad. Of a loss of international collaboration and cooperation, because countries have become protective and looking to their own needs before the needs of others. We might find disrespect for authority. The police and the government might have grown up. All sorts of bad things could happen. But we also might find that we adopt a new way of travelling, of working together, that it could be good for climate change. We could find that we restart our world in a way which takes account of the things that really matter, or not. So there are threats and opportunities at the societal, the national, and even the international level. So yes, of course, there is a risk-based perspective on the coronavirus pandemic. It's not a black swan, it's not a risk, but it's an issue, a current issue, which gives rise to uncertainties that matter in the future. And so those of us who are risk professionals, who are seeking to understand and manage risks and advise others, should be alert, having our risk radars tuned to the future and looking to see what might be coming down the track, steering away from the bad things towards the good things so that we can achieve our objectives in the future. Let's take that risk-based approach, let's get through this and be successful in the future. Thanks very much.